Do you want to play Outlast on the Halloween?
Well, how about the next best thing? That is Outliver Tribulations, which is going to be completely free from the Epic Game Store for 1 week. And that is what we do on this channel. We play and review every free weekly game from the Epic Game Store before it goes free, so you know if it's worth your time. So Michal, what is Outliver Tribulation all about?
I must admit it's the first Nigerian game I have ever played. It is made just by 3 friends, and it is about a trial. You play as a woman soldier, and she is in a mysterious catacombs, and she goes on a trial where there's a lot of puzzles. There are some mysterious enemies. You have a gun. You have a even like sci-fi pulse rifle.
And it's apparently based on aspects of Nigerian mythology. So some of the bosses and the creatures that show up come from the culture where the creators made the game. So that's always cool as well.
And because there are bosses and skills to improve, and you might die a lot, it's like Souls-like a little bit.
Very light though. Very Souls-light. The game, however, is quite dark. You might want to actually increase the brightness of the game, because one thing we noticed is it's kind of hard to see what's happening.
The game character actually has night goggles.
It's true.
If it's dark.
Yeah, when there are no lights. So otherwise you kind of go through these catacombs trying to gather different items to get through other doors to get farther in, and then there are occasional boss fights where you have to roll and shoot as you do.
That's not all.
No?
This game is all about balls. Purple.
I knew it.
Red. White.
All the
you
balls.
collect all the different balls,
you
and you put them in front of the doors that will basically open in order to progress.
The doors love the balls, but they need the ball of the right color. That's the key. Yes. All right. Well, I think that gives you a sense of what this game has to offer. It's not a long game either. It's
3 to 4 hours.
A few hours to get through it. So since it's going to be free, you can give it a try. But Michal, should they spend their time on Outliver Tribulation?
It is an indie game. Indie game.
Yeah.
So you need to count with that.
Yeah.
That it's not perfect. Technically, it's visual. I think it's totally fine.
When it's something we said in our live stream. When it runs, it runs well and looks pretty.
We had some technical difficulties that we had to restart twice on the beginning.
Yeah.
But when it runs,
it's pretty not like it's not bad. Like also it's very, very linear, so it's not trying to like load a lot of
little
elements.
bit looks like Resident Evil. But if it's an indie, it means the gameplay, the movement is not as great. The boss fights are not as good. There's very limited. It's basically all corridors game. And I think it's a good effort, but I don't think I can recommend it next to the other games that we did not recommend on this channel. Even though it's free, which is great. And normally it's not an expensive game. It's like $7-8. But still, I cannot recommend it to general audience, because this is not a game that everybody can run, and because of that,
that's kind of where I'm at also. But the problem is it's not a bad game, like especially when you know that. If you take into account that it was 3 people who made it.
But I think we had very low expectations, and because of that, we were gladly surprised.
But even then I struggle to know what type of gamer really would enjoy this and like it a lot, because there's not much horror there. It's our first Halloween game from Epic this month, but it's not scary. There are no jump scares.
They are. Because you're in the corridor, sometimes the enemies are behind you.
Yeah, but even like I'm pretty easily scared. I wouldn't call it a horror game.
You're not that easily scared.
It's not bad as a shooter, but movement is pretty limited. It's not bad as like a kind of puzzle solve, but it's nothing really complicated. You just find the ball with the right color and everything.
Caleb, I disagree. This is the best Nigerian game that we have ever played.
That I agree with. So if you're really curious about playing a Nigerian game with elements of Nigerian mythology, this might be the best option, especially now that it's free. For everyone else, I just can't quite recommend it to fans of any particular genre, but it's a decent combination of like several different genres.
And if you're wondering why are we reviewing this game, it is because it's going to be free on Epic Games Store October 10th, starting for 1 week. If you claim it, it's yours forever. And this is what we do on our channel. Every single week, Epic gives 1 to 2 games for free, just like that. And we review those games to tell you if you should play them or not.
So if you like games, especially for free, but you realize there's so many free games these days and you want to know which ones are actually worth your valuable gaming time, subscribe, tell your friends, and stay tuned for more.
So we hope to see you in another video.
Bye.